Perfect. Being 7 o'clock, I'll call the meeting to order. If everyone can stand and join me in pledge the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lynn, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Burt?
Here.
Mr. Hand?
Here.
Mr. Grover?
Here.
Mrs. Sullivan?
Here.
Mrs. Vanderwater?
Here.
Ms. Osniak?
Here. Item number 1 will be approval of the minutes from the July 17th meeting. Is there a motion to approve those?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Citizens' comments. Anyone signed in looking to address the board today? Seeing none, we'll close citizens' comments. Item number 1 is approve the vouchers for this week, totaling $102,354. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 2 is accept zone change application from Eldon Homes for PUD on tax parcel 036.03-21 and 034.01-15 and refer to the planning board. Is there anyone looking to address the board on this item? That's you. Do you want to speak to the zone
I'm
change?
here for the other item on the agenda, the appointment.
Well, we moved the most exciting item to the end so we could keep you all here.
Would you like to hear anything before this goes to the planning board?
I think some of us have some questions, so if you don't mind, you want to come up to the microphone? State your name.
My name is Dan Barnaba. I own Eldon Homes. I develop land and build single-family homes. And some of you may recall, we developed some of the last few sections of Harbor Heights that were developed probably between 2006 and 2012. And that added about 180 homes in that area. And we're under contract to purchase 3 vacant parcels, two pieces on Downer Street. One is east of Comaine Road, in front of some existing homes in the neighborhood, west of Southgate. The other piece is west of Comaine Road before the turn on Route 31. And then there's a parcel behind it. It runs behind the homes that are on Comaine Road, the west side of Comaine Road, and the parcel butts up against West Comaine Road. Altogether, there's about 40 acres of property between the 3 parcels.
Anyone have any questions for Mr. Barnaba?
How many homes were you thinking just putting in the area? I mean, I know the numbers will change if...
When I answer that question honestly, I say as many as I can get.
Right, I
but
understand.
Ultimately, I get a feel for what the board is willing to approve, what the planning board is willing to approve, and then again back to this board. We have an idea, a range. The installation of a public road with public utilities comes at great expense, so it'll have to be subdivided into more lots than the present zoning will allow. But I think you'll find during our application process, we're not going to be greedy about it. We have some ideas of what we'd like to accomplish, and it'll be well under what the national will allow. I'm looking at your PUD zone, your R15 zone, which would be the least dense under what is currently zoned, and I think we could probably do something within the 2 without exceeding the density that perhaps R15 would allow.
How far are you into your contract for purchase and sale?
We're getting closer.
Almost done with your due diligence?
We are.
So I think that you were in front of us in the fall, or...
I think it was fall of 2022.
So when you came to us last time, I think you mentioned something about commercial on the one little area.
We appreciated that the other down piece, the piece west of Comaine Road, would be suitable for commercial. That's not my current intention.
Are you still getting that piece of the property?
Yes.
And is that going to be developed with homes?
At the present moment, that's the plan.
So I have a question. When you did come before us, I think the feeling was the board was not in favor of the development. And I think when you came, you said, you weren't going to purchase the land if it wasn't a favorable outcome with the board. What made you change your mind?
Well, first of all, I didn't get the impression that there was a vote or a poll of the board. I think there were some members that may not be in favor, but I didn't get the impression that the request was forbidden or unapprovable.
No, it wasn't forbidden, of course not. But I definitely would say it was not favorable at all, and you had indicated you weren't going to go forward with the purchase.
No, we're confident that the plan that we have in mind should be something that people find acceptable. We're not asking for a significant amount of density. The land is already suitable for residential housing. It's just a matter of how many you'll tolerate. And I'm not looking to exceed density that already exists in the immediately surrounding area. So I think if the board is consistent with the precedent that you've already indicated in the town, that we're not asking for anything that's more dense than what you've already allowed. So we don't feel like we're making a position on the board. Frankly, we need housing. My company needs some places to build, and we need housing in the region. I'm fond of doing business with the town. I'm fond of doing business in the school district. So we came back. We made some priorities out of some other projects. We finished a project in Radisson. We are developing a piece in Salina, and this will be the next one.
Can you explain your two-family concept?
Some of your zoning, R15 in particular, does allow for two-family homes, and some of the home designs we're considering are, I want to clarify, there's a little bit of confusion over the term. When you see side-by-side townhomes or patio homes, just because they're attached, they're still single-family homes, one owner on each side. We're exploring building homes that stack, which allows us to make the site a little more dense. They don't need to be as wide as a big wide unit, a double. They can stack up and down. And we're hoping to accommodate empty nesters that have an aging parent. So they'll have a place in the one owner for both residences, but the aging parent can be on the first or the second floor. Empty nesters that may have a child that will be with them for life, and so they'll have a living space for that child. For young couples, that this is an affordable option. They can buy the home and then they can rent part of the home. We're doing this in Salina. We're getting a positive market response. We haven't released the plans yet. We haven't started building the homes. And at least in the first phase there, we're developing 16 lots, and 33% will be two-family intermixed with the single-family. And we want to see what the market response is to see what the right ratio is.
So these dwellings would have two separate mailing addresses, or?
Yes. And the current design, there's an airlock. You go in, you may only see one front door from the street, but when you go in, there are like two doors, one up, one down. The feedback we're getting is positive. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, I would think that you've done some research and that there's people that are interested in this either multi-generational or the opportunity for affordability to be able to rent the other piece, or, I mean, I do think that the market has changed quite a bit in the last decade, and that's something that people are interested in, so.
Also, it is anecdote, it's gut feeling, it's just my experience, it's bringing out, this product was very prolific 100 years ago, 80 years ago, we just haven't seen it built, but you see it in the cities, you see it in the villages, they're there, and I think a bit of a stigma has come about because they're so old, they tend to be dilapidated, and people think that maybe there's some blight, but these homes are going to be well above $400,000, and I imagine the rents for the other residents in the unit will be significant, upwards of $2,000 a month. So that tends to keep the values high.
Any other questions? Nope. Do we have a motion?
I don't want to mislead the board, by the way. We haven't committed to the two-family, single-family, what the mix is going to be. We really rely on more market feedback.
That's fair.
Well, you have both of them in your application, so that's why it made me pause to understand what that concept meant.
I was going to be non-committal until I got some more feedback from the planning board and from the public, because I'm sure there's a public hearing component.
Sure.
Does the public hearing occur at the planning board, the town board, or both?
Here.
After.
So we'll go to the planning board and then we'll come back to the town board.
Yeah.
with-
Based on their recommendation, whether it's a yes or no, they'll pass it back here and then we vote, but we'll have a public hearing first.
It's a local law process because it's technically changing the zoning. So they'll introduce, after the referral comes back from the planning board, they'll introduce a local law changing the zoning. You have to have the public hearing on the local law, then they can start acting.
Sometimes the applicant's required to handle the notification. Does the town handle the notification?
For local law, that's town responsibility.
Anything else? Is there a motion to move this to the planning board?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I just ask one more quick question? Is one of these tax map numbers the land along 31 behind Lanyard, or is it all just behind Comaine?
No, it's behind Lanyard, so there's this rectangular piece.
That's behind
that-
Lanyard?
I think that's the street, Lanyard, Comaine, Downer, and then there's some houses before you get to Southgate. So there's, it's about 10 acres, I think, in that area.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 3 is approve ARPA funding for the Van Buren Central Park road improvements in the amount of $52,297.28.
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
A second.
This will finish off the top coat on the rest of park paving project.
Yeah, basically, probably almost patient stone over it, or the part that got, they extended last year. And in addition to that, the whole rest of the park, all of the time, will seal up for the years.
Great. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Item number 4 is approve the 284 agreement with the highway superintendent.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Doug, do you want to talk a little bit about the work you're doing this year?
Sure. Real quick, in the Knolls, Seneca Knolls area, we're doing the Rufus Circle and Maze Drive, the complete length of that. We're milling and filling 2 inches of hot mix on that. In Village Green, we're doing Cedarwood Boulevard between Idlewood down to Birchwood, encompassing, we did some drainage work there last year, and made some cross cuts, and we're going to cover those up. And also doing Cedar Court and Higgins Drive. That's a mix of mill and fill and Higgins Drive with just overlaying, again, which is hot mix. Connors Road between Westhead Creek and Route 31, we're overlaying with 2 inches of hot mix. We'll also be doing a little bit of spot milling in that to take out some of the bump per grade to go over the bridge stops, so that will be reduced. And Turner Road, we're also doing full length, and that's going to be an overlay of 2 inches hot mix. And then we also set aside funds for in Harbor Heights, the patch that is down on Waterfront, from where we did some work earlier this year. We'll be going from Fisherman's Creek to Submarine Circle.
Great. We have a motion and a second. Any other questions, discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 5 is seeker review for the playground equipment at Van Buren Central Park and wiring improvements at Town Hall required for the grant funding from New York State.
So if I may, we will address these separately. With regard to the seeker for the Central Park improvements, there's been a resolution that I prepared this afternoon. The board may recall back in 2016, the board had prepared a full environmental assessment form and completed the parts 1, 2, and 3, and they rendered findings and issued a negative declaration for improvements to Central Park, which captured the playground installation that's also being considered this evening. So this, what you are doing this evening, is there's a resolution that acknowledges the 2016 action, And the resolution is to resolve and determine that the town board of the town of Van Buren does hereby ratify and reaffirm its prior findings and negative declaration issued on August 16, 2016, with respect to the aforementioned improvements to Central Park for purposes of environmental review pursuant to the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act. I just need a motion and a second, please.
Make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. So that took care of the wiring improvements in there too, right? Or is that still separate?
No, we're going to do that one separate.
Okay, so the
So
seeker.
the second one, I have prepared and circulated to the board this evening a short environmental assessment form for the wiring for the town hall and for the town's parks, building, and grounds offices located on Canton Street. So the resolution that has been prepared is I'll just read it. It's short. Whereas the town board of the town of Van Buren has applied for grant monies from New York State to improve and replace the electrical wiring at the town hall located at 7575 Van Buren Road and the parks, buildings, and grounds offices located at 7350 Canton Street in the town of Van Buren. And whereas no other agency has the legal authority or jurisdiction to replace the wiring in town facilities and apply for grant monies to cover the cost of same in the town of Van Buren. And whereas the town board, having reviewed the short environmental assessment form and being familiar with the proposal, does desire to apply for grant monies and undertake the improvement and replacement of electrical wiring at the town hall and parks, buildings, and grounds office. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Van Buren does hereby determine that the proposed action is an unlisted action and the proposed action does not involve more than one agency. Be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Van Buren shall be the lead agency for the project. There are no likely adverse environmental impacts associated with the proposed action, and this board hereby issues a negative declaration under the State Environmental Quality Review Act. I just need a motion and a second.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Nadine. So before we move off of that, I just wanted to make a mention that a big thank you to our former supervisor, Mary Frances Sabin, originated this grant and has offered to come in and work with Darcy to see it through completion. So she really was dedicated to this cause, and we wouldn't be where we are today without Mary Frances, so a big thank you to her.
120,000. Item number 6 is approved track hauler license for Syracuse haulers. I think this is our last one. Last one. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Before I introduce item number 7, I just wanted to take a moment to say that it has been a pleasure to serve as the acting supervisor for the last 6 months, but I'm really thrilled to introduce appointing Wendy Vanderwater as town super effective today. So I will make the motion to appoint Wendy. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Congratulations.
Should I recuse myself from that vote, or should I vote yes?
You should vote yes.
Please make sure you sign the book.
Counselor and committee reports and comments. I'll start with Mike tonight.
I have nothing.
Roger?
Nothing.
Jen?
Of course. For business, I have a Canton Woods Board meeting tomorrow at 7:45, so I will be giving you guys all an update next board meeting. Joan Fessler, the senior recreation leader, is retiring from Canton Woods. She's been at the Canton Woods Senior Center for a long time now, and so her last day is August 16th. So I wanted to wish her well and thank her for her service and hope she has a wonderful retirement. They also have a Canton Woods car show on Monday, August 12th at 5 o'clock. I just wanted to remind everybody on that. And I wanted to congratulate Miss Counselor Vanderwater for her appointment as supervisor.
It's a golf club. Oh, you're going to do a great job.
And I am looking forward to working with you on the board in your new role.
Thanks, Jen.
And I want to thank let's see, how do I say this, Darce?
We could just go counseling
Deputy Supervisor / Acting Supervisor Lesniak, thank you for your services, for taking the position since it's been vacated. You've done a wonderful job, and you rolled up your sleeves and just jumped in, and I can't thank you enough, and I know the board appreciated it too.
Appreciate that.
That's all I got.
So I just want to take a couple minutes and thank the board for your support and for appointing me as supervisor. I'm really excited to take on this role. And to the residents, the changing of the guards will be seamless, so don't worry about that. And I too want to thank Darcy for doing an outstanding job since February. It was a big undertaking, and you did it with a smile, and you kept us afloat. So thank you for that, and please stay on as deputy. Thank you. I'll need it. Thank you.
Huh?
The only thing I want to do is thank the highway supervisor. I think he jumped right into it. I wasn't expecting you to come into the Harbor Heights and cut all of it down along Silverside, but thank you very much.
Other than that, Darcy, it's been a pleasure. I'm glad you're staying on. And congratulations to Miss Vanderwater.
Mrs.
I was trying to save you.
So the only other thing I want to say in supervisor's comments, and you will figure this out quickly, I just want to thank the department heads. I definitely could not have done this for the last 6 months without them. They definitely know what they're doing, and if you just let them do what they do best, you'll find that it can be pretty easy and you get all the credit. So this is an opportunity to say they're really doing the job. So I want to thank all the staff at the town because we have a really good staff. I'm going to cry. So, for sure. Highway superintendent, anything else tonight?
Normally no, but our crew owner happened to be here. He brought a name to me today from a resident that we did some work for that was interested in potentially plowing this winter. We are always looking for people to ride wing with us. So if anybody happens to know anybody, it's often, this gentleman he's retired and he says, I don't mind getting up at 2 in the morning. You're the man. You're perfect. So if you know of anybody, please pass the word around. We'd love to get more applicants.
It's probably not too early to put that up on the website too. I think it's
You have to be awake.
Jason, anything else tonight?
Just that the county's doing their hazard mitigation plan update, of which the town has a chapter, about 30 pages. I've been working at that since we don't have a code officer. It's due on Monday, a draft, and then I should have it wrapped up Fridays.
Awesome. Thank you again for doing that. Nadine, anything else tonight?
No, I do not.
Lynn, anything off chance? Can I get a motion to go into an executive session to discuss a personnel matter?
Moved.
Will action be taken afterwards?
No, I do not anticipate any action. All those in favor? We're in executive session. Thank you all for coming. Thank you.